Hey guys, 7 WWE Rocks here. Thank you so much for joining me on episode 32 of Saturday Night's Kickout. Hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and I'm not going to try to take up too much of your time. I realize these do go on pretty long, so like 30 minutes. I try to cut it back, but the reason I try to make them longer is because, my regular videos are pretty short, so I think maybe you guys want to hear more my thoughts more in depth. And it just gives me an option to do these in depth without having to wait hours on end for the video to upload through YouTube. With the Google Plus Hangout, I can literally just click end video and it's uploading in seconds, so in minutes. So thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. And we're going to get right into a lot of news, but I'm going to try not to waste too much of your time. But it's a very sad day in the wrestling world. Before we get into all the topics about Raw, NXT, TNA, and stuff, very sad topic. And I woke up this morning and I saw that we had lost a professional wrestler, and it's just a horrible accident, and it's really sad to see this. Now, I really had never heard of the guy, to be honest, and I'm just not into AAA, Mexico, like that wrestling type deal. I just never am able to follow it. I know it's amazing and great, but I don't know. I've just never been able to follow it. But my Spanish is awful. I stopped doing Spanish in sophomore year. But so if I do butcher his name, I am greatly sorry. I'm really am. So El Hijo del Puero Agoyo, I think. It was like Puero Agoyo Jr. That's what he went by. He was with the match with, it was him and Manic or TJ Perkins or whatever, you know him from TNA, versus Rey Mysterio Jr. and Tigre Uno, or Extreme Tiger, I think is what he's called in Mexico. But it was a tag match, and I watched the video because I just wanted to see what happened. And in the video, you really can't see what really did it. But it was just awful. Like, it was so hard to watch. Like, after I was done watching, I was like, I can't even look at this anymore. And it was really sad just seeing that and seeing them like kind of freak out in the ring and finish the match. It was like crazy how they finished the match. But basically, I read the reports and stuff how he took a drop kick. What they think is what caused it. Apparently a lot of people don't even know really. But he took a drop kick from Rey Mysterio Jr., and when he went into the ropes, he got such bad whiplash that it actually snapped his neck on like impact, and he was just out. So sad. And my thoughts and prayers really do go out to his family, go out to the wrestlers that were involved in the match, the ref, everybody in attendance. Conan was ringside, and just such a horrible tragedy. And just want you guys to like think about this. This is another reason why I hate why people say wrestling's fake. It's not real. Blah blah blah. They are putting their lives on the line. We forget about this. Including me. When I see stuff happen, when I see people take crazy falls in wrestling matches, I'm like, oh, that was a cool moment. He's gonna get back up and blah blah blah. They do crazy stuff where there's a big chance that they're not gonna get back up, and it's crazy for what wrestling. That's why I just love wrestling so much. They put their bodies literally on the line for our entertainment. So such a sad event, and yeah, thoughts and prayers go out to all his family and his friends and stuff. It's a very sad day in the wrestling world, and I didn't even know the guy. So very sad day, and we're gonna move on with Raw. We're gonna go on a hopefully fun note where I try to make fun of Raw and say how much they suck. But no. But first, I'm sorry, L Giant 37303. Go check out his channel if you want to save some money. Got those coupon videos and such. He made a suggestion for a segment I should do, and he called it the flashback segment, where I basically talk about independent shows I've gone to in the past, or like moments that have happened in the past. So I think I'm going a little away from what he wanted it to be, but it is a flashback segment. So basically, earlier this week, my mom and me were talking about The Rock and his famous rock concert promo at the 20th anniversary of Raw, where he basically sang to Vicky Guerrero how she looked like a hooker, but not the expensive kind, and just such a funny moment. You guys know what I'm talking about. I was there live in attendance, and it was like one of the best wrestling moments of my life, really, because it's just so crazy. Like, I've never seen The Rock wrestle live. Like, I've never seen him live in appearance until then. it's so different. Like Cena, you got people booing him, and he's supposed to be the main guy, right? He's supposed to be the face. You know, Punk even, you got people booing him if he's a heel or whatever. But you got Cena, everyone's booing him. You know, some people cheering him back and forth. But then there's The Rock, and literally 100% people are behind him, and it's just crazy to see everyone standing up. You know, with Cena segments, people are sitting down. With The Rock, everyone was standing up. I remember when he was singing his song. It was a freaking wrestling show, and I'm listening to a guy sing. And it was awesome. It was so great, such a great moment, and he had the crowd in the palm of his hands. It was awesome. So that's my flashback segment. I loved it. That was one of the best Raw. I think I want to say it was the last Raw I was at. I went to a SmackDown last year, but that was a while ago. So, but it was cool. Rock hit a rock bottom on CM Punk during the like dark main event type deal, and that was awesome. So the people in attendance got to see that, but it wasn't on TV, which sucks. But yeah, The Rock, that was awesome. I loved being at the 20th anniversary. I still have the ticket somewhere in my room. Have the ticket from that show because I just loved it so much. It was kind of disappointing because it was the 20th anniversary, but like Rock, Flair, and Foley, I think, were the only guys that were like from back in the day. It wasn't just like usually at their anniversary shows they have so many just legends backstage, but it was only Rock, Foley, and Flair, which kind of sucked. But Rock was awesome. So moving on to Raw. I really didn't write down that many segments because, I don't know, Raw's kind of disappointing. The WrestleMania builds are saying they're awful builds. Like, this is the worst WrestleMania build ever. I mean, it's so bad. And I really don't see that because, yes, with the WWE title match, Reigns and Lesnar, yes, that match is built horribly. But the Intercontinental Championship, United States Championship, this is what people have been asking for these titles to mean something again. Finally, they do with Cena and Rusev and with all the guys fighting in that ladder match. So I think that's really cool. And we're going to go right into basically Cena did that contract signing. Lana wasn't there because she's supposed to be filming her movie with Edge or something. I don't know. And so Rusev had a lawyer who was supposedly Russian, and it was one of the worst Russian accents in the world. The guy was just awful, and it was just like the laughing moment of the segment. Like, that's what people remember from it. But it was a good segment. Rusev is getting such good heat. He's basically saying America is losers, grow up as losers, and the whole country is a failure. Getting great heat, and that storyline's been so overdone. It's USA versus a foreign country, but still, always getting great heat. And it's one of those storylines I think that could go on forever. Like, it could always happen. Like 2030, it could still happen, and people would be behind it. So, Cena and Rusev, that was, it was a good segment, and I enjoyed it. And yeah, usually the contract signings aren't that great, but no one went through the table. So I think that's bravo. No one went through the. That was the first contract signing in years. Something really bad hasn't happened. I want to say something. I think Cena flipped the table. No, Rusev signed the contract and then flipped the table into Cena, but nobody went through the table. Bravo. That's nice. That's intense. Next, Lesnar cut a promo where he made the funniest face ever. There's so many gifs of it now where he's like during the promo, and I remember laughing so hard when he did that. But Lesnar can cut a dang good promo, I think. And I know Heyman is so great, and it's awesome he's with Lesnar. But honestly, I think Lesnar could have gone on his own. I think Heyman could have turned on Lesnar, joined Reigns, helped Reigns. I think Lesnar could have held his own in a promo battle, to be honest. He doesn't even have to hold his own, really. He can just say, I'm a freaking beast. I can kill you, and I believe it. So, yeah, Lesnar cuts a good promo. Like, honestly, it's kind of weird he has Heyman, because Heyman usually with guys to help them up. But Lesnar kind of, at this point, really doesn't need that much help, I think. But, Heyman's always great on the mic, so it doesn't matter. Next, we had Reigns. He interrupted Heyman's promo and basically said, I'm going to win because I'm strong. The end. The Authority, they left Rollins. And, during the show, each segment, one of the, J&J Security quit on him. Big Show and Kane quit on him. And Seth Rollins was supposed to verse Randy Orton in the main event because they're like, hey, we're going to verse at WrestleMania, but, let's wrestle not at WrestleMania. Let's wrestle sooner. And then he was like, okay, bro. And then so Rollins comes out and he's like, hey, you're stupid. I'm still with the Authority. And then the Authority comes out and Randy Orton's like, dang it, that sucks. And basically the Authority surrounded the ring. Randy Orton had a chair, but it was 10 people against one, including Triple H, and he has a shovel, so that's pretty intense. But they go in on him, they're about to get him, and the lights go out. And when the lights come back on, Sting is right next to Randy Orton on his side with a baseball bat, and that was awesome. I really loved that moment. I thought it was great. Thought it was awesome. But Triple H needs to get some hits on, because Sting, he came in this match looking like the bee's knees. Like, he is so over at this point. Triple H is like getting the crap beat out of him. He's getting outsmarted by Sting at every turn. And I'm pretty sure Sting only has 1 day left in his contract, which is going to be WrestleMania. So I don't think he's going to be on this Raw. So at this point, the build is basically Sting has beaten the freaking crap out of Triple H and the Authority. So I don't know. People have been saying there's going to be a stipulation added because Triple H is a sledgehammer. Sting's got his bat. Let him have like a lightsaber fight to the death. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, like, this is one-sided. Sting is easily looking like so over. I mean, it's crazy. But moving on. Is that it for Raw? Yeah, that's it for Raw. Sting, the Authority gets stung. Yeah, that was the title of the video. I'm so freaking smart. That hasn't been overdone like a million times. Anyway, NXT, Owens versus Riley. Their big match. It was that Arnold Schwarzenegger convention thing. And it was a good episode. I enjoyed it. And it was cool to see all the NXT stuff and people meeting NXT guys. Gosh, I wish that would happen. I wish I could meet the NXT people. But it was a good match. Wasn't that great. I kind of expected it to be better, to be honest. But Owens got the win, basically. He got the, I want to say pick-up powerbomb, but I don't know, like jump-up powerbomb deal. Got the win, and I forget what he was trying to do. I think he was continually beating Riley like after the match, and then Finn Balor came out and jumped off the ramp because like it was a different setup. It was like a ramp, and then you had to walk around to get to the ring. But Balor was like, screw that, I'm just jumping and killing you. Jumps off, hits Owens. They start fighting and stuff. They get back in the ring, and Balor hits the drop kick into the corner on Owens. Goes for the double foot stomp thing, but Owens leaves the ring before he can. And while he's leaving the ring, you see Riley on the ground still, like, selling his injury, And Owens, as he's running away, kicks him right in the stomach, which I thought was great. Classic Kevin Steen. But Balor versus Owens next week, that I'm really hyped for. A lot of people think it's an NXT special. It's not. It hasn't been hyped up like that at all. So it's going to be a big match. It's already happened, I'm sure. I haven't heard any spoilers for it, thankfully. But NXT is always taped in advance, so it's not like a live episode. But yeah, Owens versus Balor, I'm really excited for. We're gonna move on to TNA. TNA was really good this week. I was actually pretty impressed. They had an Ultimate X match for the tag team titles to kick off the show. Let that set in. Ultimate X to kick off the show. That's freaking awesome. It was the Wolves defending their titles versus DJZ and Jesse Goddard's versus Manic and Sonata. So it was probably the best people that could have been in that type of big high flyers. DJZ is great, and the Wolves retained, but it was a great match. I really enjoyed it, and that's a perfect way to kick off a wrestling show. Aries versus Joe, that happened in Joe's final match in TNA, and TNA was hyping it up. Not the announcers, but people on Twitter, like Dixie Carter, was hyping it up as his last match and how great Joe's been. And basically, Aries, Loki came in the ring because every Beatdown Clan match has to have interference and a disqualification. Like, I don't remember the last one that didn't end in disqualification. But yeah, Loki got involved, and Aries like killed him after like literally discus foreline him while he was holding the briefcase, and like killed Loki. So it sucks. Joe's last match was was disqualification, but I'm glad he's doing good things in the Ring of Honor. Maybe WWE in the future, but he's doing great as of now. So I mean, he's doing absolutely fine without TNA, and I'm happy for the guy. He's doing great. So Aries, his back, he's gotten his briefcase back. The Beatdown Clan stole it, but now he has the briefcase back, and he has a world title shot because Aries could literally just snap his fingers, and he's got a world title shot. Guy gets too many title shots. Anyway, but as Loki's on the ground selling that injury because, he got his face caved in by a briefcase, Rockstar Spud comes out in TNA's version of a Money in the Bank cash-in. He's got the X Division briefcase from Feast and Fire, and he hits his underdog finisher, which is basically a sliced bread bulldog type thing. Sliced bread number 2 into a bulldog, I don't know. And he wins the X-Division championship because Loki is the X-Division champion, and Rockstar Spud is now the champ. So That was a really good moment. It's their version of a cash-in. It's not that exciting. Usually the Money in the Bank one's much more exciting because, there's like 3 briefcases with title shots, so it's not as exciting. But it was a really good moment. I'm glad he's the X-Division champion. He's done really good, and Spud's just gold. But only thing I don't like about it is he got the absolute crap beaten out of him by EC3. Blood. They had to black and white the screen because it was so bad. And now the following week, he comes back and already wins the title. I would have saved it for a little longer, really sold that injury, not have him come back. And finally, like when you least expected, him shocking everyone, coming in, cashing in, winning it. But still, great moment for Spud. And, yeah, moving on. Magnus and Bram, they brawled some more. Good segment. Basically, this was beating the crap out of Bram. Mickie James came out, kicked Bram in the nuts, and beat the crap out of him even after she kicked him in the nuts. So Bram, not good, man. That was not good at all. But I like the storyline. I really like Magnus right now as a face. I'm liking Bram more and more. When he doesn't do a hardcore match, he did way too many of them. But now that he's finally in an actual storyline, I'm happy. And I wish their match would have been at the final UK taping, which was this week, I believe. Yeah. It should have happened this episode because I think it would have been much over in the UK. I know they already had a match in the UK, but I think if it was the big blowout, that would have been great. They should have started this storyline a little earlier. It kind of waited a little longer in the UK tour, like 2 weeks into it, I think, is when they finally started it. Should have been pushed back or brought back to the first week of the UK taping and then finished on the very end. That's what I wanted. So, but yeah, it was cool. Magnus and Bram. I'm really liking the storyline. I just wish their big blow-off match would have happened in the UK because I think it would be much more over in the UK, to be honest. Next, we have Matt Hardy and I almost said Bram. Matt Hardy and James Storm in a no disqualification match, which was really good. I enjoyed it. But the big thing is because TNA hyped it up a lot. Now that TNA is done with the UK, moving on to Orlando, Jeff Hardy can come back magically, be like, oh, I was hurt in the UK tour, but now the UK's tour is over, so I'm just going to magically do a kick up, and boom, I'm back because his drug charge. But anyway, Jeff Hardy's returning. Because James Storm beat the crap out of Matt Hardy. The Revolution held Matt Hardy, and Storm hit him repeatedly with the cowbell thing. And it's going to be Jeff Hardy versus James Storm next week in a lockdown match, in a steel cage match with weapons. So all they need is more cal. That's all that match needs. So that's going to be a good match. I'm excited Hardy's back, and it's going to be good. Next, we had Lashley versus Angle for the world title. Now, I'm going to say it again. Lashley versus Kurt Angle for the world title on free TV. Freaking awesome. I mean, that blows my mind. It's the first time this has ever happened in wrestling history, so that made it even better. I'm kind of sad it wasn't on pay-per-view because it sucks that TNA can't do many pay-per-views, and they didn't even set this show up as a pay-per-view show, and it seemed like they could have. Like, when they do this is a pay-per-view, but it's free, and it's not really that great of a show. It's usually kind of okay. But this show, I thought, could have been a pay-per-view free type thing. But I would have loved for this match to have been on actual pay-per-view and a huge build, huge hype to it. But it was a great match. I really enjoyed it. Good stuff. And it's exactly what you kind of expect out of Angle versus Lashley. I mean, I can't really say anything that'll make you watch it. Go and watch it, and that's what you'll get from it. So, great match. And Kurt Angle got the win. Did he make him tap out? I think he did. Yeah, he got him an ankle lock, made Lashley tap out. Kurt Angle is your new World Heavyweight Champion for TNA. That's great. I really like that. I really did like when Lashley was champ, and him turning face was cool. But I'm just waiting for EC3 to take the title off Angle. I think that's what they're going with. I think Angle's going to defend the title for a little while, maybe beat Aries in a match because I knew they were hyping that up a while ago, or they hinted at it. They planted the seed for it. I'm thinking Aries cashes in a briefcase, but for a match, not like after Angle's already gone through a match, because I don't think Aries needs to turn heel again. But I think Aries cashes in, has a match with Angle, and Angle wins, and then EC3 beats him, and I think that should be Angle's not final match, but something along those lines. Something where it's like that's his last title run right there. So, yeah, EC3 I think should get the title out of this, and hopefully he does. But let me know what you guys think. I'd really like to hear what you think. WWE TNA 1152, he also let me know about a segment or a segment suggestion. So by all means, if you have a segment suggestion, you want me to give you a shout out or something like that, let me know. But WWE TNA 1152, go check out his channel. I did a TNA review with him and a few other people on his channel last night. Got a great channel. He's a good friend. And, yeah, that's all I can say. So he wanted me to do basically a top 5 type deal where I rate the 5 guys, in his words, the top 5 guys that were gangsters, something like that. He was like, put your top 5 guys of the week that you thought were gangsters. So that's his words. But, yeah, I thought it was a good idea. So top 5 in the past week, WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, all those guys, they are in the list. Or not this list because I didn't watch Ring of Honor, but number 5, I had to give it to Ziggler because although I did not watch SmackDown, Ziggler won a gauntlet match with the ship guys that will be in the ladder match at WrestleMania. They were all in a gauntlet match, and Ziggler got the win. So that's a big win for Ziggler, and that's really making him look good for WrestleMania. So good job on Ziggler's part, and I didn't watch SmackDown, but that's what I saw, so that's cool. Number 4, I gave it to Rusev because he's getting such great heat, I think, with the whole Cena feud. And I'm excited for their match. I know Cena's going to win. I truly believe that. I mean, you know, I truly believed Undertaker would beat Brock, and I was so shocked that happened. But got to give it to Rusev for number 4. Number 3, sorry, my phone's messing up. Okay. Number 3, I gave it to Rockstar Spud because he won the X-Division Championship, and I think that's a big deal for him. So his first title, that's pretty cool. Number 2, I give it to Sting because, once again, he beat the shiznit out of the Authority. He not beat Triple H, but he like outsmarted Triple H, saved Randy Orton, and it was a big segment, like really cool segment to end Raw, I think. And he made Triple H look bad, so I think that's what it was really meant to do, and set up their match for WrestleMania. Number 2 goes to Sting. Number 1, the guy that won the World Heavyweight Championship, Kurt Angle. That's a great thing. I think it's gonna be his final title run, but he deserves it. The man's awesome. He's like the perfect ideal champion. Like if you had him on your roster, no matter where he is in his prime, young, old, he deserves the championship. He's like your perfect model of a champion. So gotta give it to Angle. So thank you, WTNA 1152. Really appreciate you doing that suggestion. And L Giant 37303. Again, I appreciate your suggestion too. I really do. And moving on to match of the week. This was hard, because Lucha Underground had a Grave Consequences match, which was their coffin match, casket match type deal. But there was Grave Consequences. Get it? Grave casket. But all right, I'll continue. Let's pretend that didn't happen. But it was a great match, and I feel like Angle versus Lashley was really good too. But I think the Grave Consequences match, I got to give it to that because it was a high flyer guy versus a big brute. Mil Muertes versus dang it. I said how great of a match was, and I can't. There's so many masked guys in that company. I can't remember them all. But it wasn't Phoenix. I don't know. I forget who it was, but it was a masked guy, and it's that one guy that's been making out with that really hot girl, Katrina, I think her name is. She's Mil Muertes' girl, or she was originally, but then she's like, nah, you're creepy. This is a weird piece. And she left him, and then now she's making out with this really small high flyer guy. And it was a good match. Like, blood everywhere, ripped off the guy's mask. Like, Mil Muertes, the big brute guy, ripped off the smaller guy's mask, beat the freaking crap out of him. But it was a really great match. I really enjoyed it. So I got to give it to that. Lashley versus Angle was awesome. But that Grave Consequences match I really enjoyed. So got to give it to that. And kick-out segment, talking about the positives. We're so close to WrestleMania. Yeah, I know a lot of people are disappointed with the build and the matches, and I agree. I hate the fact that Stardust versus Goldust isn't happening. I hate the fact that Nikki Bella versus Brie Bella isn't happening. I hate the fact that the main event makes me want to shoot myself. Not really, but still. Yeah, so I know a lot of people are. It's WrestleMania season, and it's getting closer, and WWE always seems to bring it together, which they are just, like, amazing. They're like magicians. They somehow make it turn into crap, and then, boom, a dove flies out. So, yeah, they got that going from TNA was great, and I think the Orlando tapings will be really good for them. NXT is on fire. Next week, got Balor versus Owens, and come on, that's going to be awesome. A big talk about this week was Max Landis, who was the screenwriter for that movie Chronicle. I actually watched it today because I just love that movie so much. He wrote Chronicle. He made a video called "Wrestling Isn't Wrestling." If you have not watched it, it's pretty long. It's 25 minutes, but it's so good, so funny. It's like talking about Triple H, his entire career. Leave some stuff out, but it's like a funny way of showing how wrestling's stupid but freaking amazing at the same time. And I love that video. It was so great, and I really enjoyed it. And the last like 3 minutes of it, I watch I keep watching because it's just like exactly what I want to say, but he's smarter and sounds better at talking than me, and he's able to use words and it just makes wrestling sound great, and it's exactly how I feel about wrestling. So just type in "Wrestling Isn't Wrestling." It's freaking awesome. I love it. I laughed so hard during it. It's really good. So yeah, those are some positives. My kick out segment where I talk about the positives, and thinking about Ring of Honor. They got Super Card of Honor. That's gonna be great. Can't really think of anything else, but thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully I didn't go too long. I'm going to click out this video and I'm going to see it was like 30 minutes and I'm going to be so sad. But thank you for watching. Hopefully I didn't waste your time. And like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Follow me on Twitter at 7WRocks. Thanks for that one viewer. At one point I had 2 viewers, but one viewer stayed on for a while. So I really do appreciate it so much. If you got any segment ideas, oh yeah, and really, if you can, like, spread the channel around. Tell your friends and stuff. Tell your family members or something. I don't know if they like wrestling, because I've been stuck at 252 subscribers, and I'm so grateful for 252 subscribers. That's freaking awesome. But I just want to keep getting this going, keep getting subscribers, more and more about it, because you see channels that are so kind of like rude to their fans and like think so great about themselves, which is kind of rude of me to say, but I see people that are so like insecure about themselves and they have thousands of subscribers, and I look at my channel, I'm like, come on. That's kind of rude of me to say, but still. Thank you guys so much for watching. Spread the channel. My mom just texted me. Love you, Mom. Yeah, that was weird. Thanks guys for watching, and as always, have a nice day.